It's full time that I go back to revealing how bad things are between men and ex-exes in relationships because some of you really think there is still hope out here. I want all of you to know that ex-exes don't give men anything in relationships, and what you guys are getting is what ex-exes would normally do without sacrificing anything. I know it sounds off, but let's look at what men get in relationships to open your eyes to the realities of relationships. When men enter relationships, the main thing that every man wants and expects to get is sex, and women know this. I want all of you to understand and drill into your thick skull that women aren't dumb. They know that sex is the only reason why men are with them, and this is why they use it or, for lack of better words, weaponize it against men to use men to get the things that they want. They aren't dumb. They have been told by women around them or through experience that bedroom fun is what they have to give men to keep men around. So typically, when a man enters a relationship, the woman will make sure she gives him access to her body whether she wants to or not to keep the man around and get the things she wants. So that is what men get from women, but we cannot act like that is something special because she was going to give someone access to her body anyways. Men, I want you to accept that women love bedroom fun too. Many of them enjoy it just like men and want to be throttled, and that's why they fought for sexual liberation so hard and why you can't find any good women out here. So they are going to have some bedroom fun with or without a relationship, so that's not something special that they have to sacrifice to give to men anymore. So what else do they offer to men or bring to the table in their relationships? Well, let's look at the famous washing, cooking, and cleaning, or the female role in the home. When men look for women, most want a woman who can wash, cook, and clean so they don't have to divert their time that can be spent working, making money, or decompressing to low ROI activities. Sure, it's important to keep the house clean, have clean clothes to wear, and have food cooking on the stove, but it takes away time from doing more important activities most of the time. So having someone else to do these activities is a pretty good deal for a lot of men who are go-getters and men of action who want to build wealth and take care of their families. That's where a woman comes in because, to be frank, most aren't go-getters. They don't want to put in the work to become wealthy or become the primary breadwinner if given a choice. So it makes sense that when a man and woman are in a relationship together, she will do the things that she is capable of doing without much help, and the things the men can't do or don't want to do, like the feminine roles in the house. The problem is modern ex-exes don't even want to do their roles by themselves or any at all due to womanism and their poor home training by their single mammies. But even before we dive that deep, gents, since we're talking about what women bring to men in relationships in terms of sacrificing, can we really add chores to the list? Because either way, when women live alone, they have to wash, cook, and clean for themselves. So wouldn't they be doing for us what they would already be doing for themselves? And before you say it's the same for men who live alone, my counter-argument to that is men can hire someone to do those chores for cheaper than if they were in a relationship. So why don't men just stay single then instead of wasting money on a lazy beach who doesn't want to do her part of the chores? You see how fast I can shut you simps up? Women are already doing the feminine roles in the house when they live alone, so when they enter a relationship, they're doing what they would already be doing, so they're not sacrificing anything. And it's not like women don't get help to do what they do. These people have machines and robots helping them, and they still complain that the work is too hard. If a woman complains about washing and she's using a washing machine, she's a POS. If a woman is complaining about doing the dishes and she has a dishwasher, that's despicable behavior. If a woman complains about cleaning and she has a vacuum cleaner or cleaning robot in the home, she's just a beach. And if she complains about cooking when many of the meals these days are pre-made or packaged conveniently, just get rid of her. That's how I look at it. They're not bringing anything special to the relationship because all of what I listed are things that they do in the absence of a relationship or for themselves. Getting their cookie smashed and doing the feminine roles in the house are things that they naturally do by themselves outside the context of a relationship or marriage. What about the intangibles they love offering as a sales pitch to men? Are they sacrificing anything by offering these things? And you might be wondering what I'm talking about, so I'll tell you what I call intangibles. Motivation, massages, allegedly making men rich, emotional support, paying half or some of the bills every now and then, taking care of the kids, having kids, planning for events, being arm candy, being a stay-at-home mom or trophy wife, and so on. All of these things and more that I can't list off the top of my head are things that they always say they bring to the table, and if you look at that list, none of it actually benefits the man most of the time. See, they offer all of these intangibles to people and men outside of a relationship, and they don't reserve any of it for a relationship. Even having kids isn't a sacrifice because most of them want to do it, and many of them do it outside a relationship, especially having and raising kids. So what exactly do women have to sacrifice to be with and give to men in relationships? Based on what I'm seeing, what they offer men is what they do by being women. It's nothing special. What men get in relationships is what women do on a daily basis. So the truth is women don't bring anything to men than themselves. When men ask women what they bring to the table, most will either say, I am the table, meaning they are bringing themselves or the things they do naturally, or they'll say me, which is pretty much what I just said. So my argument is XXs don't bring anything to men in relationships that they have to sacrifice, and that truth is undeniable for most women on earth. Men, on the other hand, actually sacrifice a lot to be with XXs. We have to put up with their BS and emotional tirade to get some stank. We have to give up the ability to legally have bedroom fun with another woman once we're married. We sacrifice our lives to provide for and protect XXs. We give up on our future to be with women and our families and sacrifice our sex life, finances, peace, quiet, and freedom to stay in a relationship with women. It's not even a debate. If you disagree, you're either a troll or a simp. I've never heard of a woman sacrificing anything to be with a man she wants. Could it happen in some rare instances? Sure, but it certainly isn't the norm. Conversely, men bring value to the relationship, which is why the investment stage exists and why XXs typically don't leave relationships and marriages until after the investment stage. Even love, men are the ones who offer love in relationships, not XXs. Women are the receivers of love, not the givers. Men give women love, or what they interpret as love, and as a result, they open up their legs to men. We talk about meat many times on the channel, and CGA is the first one I heard bring it up. Men have to provide money, energy, attention, or time, which XXs interpret as love, which is how they access XXs. If you guys read the 5 love languages and believe in it, meat is pretty much the exact same thing. So already, I've listed things that men have to risk, sacrifice, and go out of their way to provide for XXs so they can get a relationship or keep a relationship. XXs typically do none of that. They just have to provide the bare minimum and bring nothing special to get what they want. So my question to you guys is, since there's no benefit in women are not providing men anything in relationships, why are you guys still committing and walking them down the aisle? I know this inherently, so if I was to ever go into a relationship, I know I'm getting back zero in return and giving up a lot. I don't want to hear anything about sex because they are going to give someone access. I just happened to be there and convinced her to give it to me. It's just my turn at the end of the day, so let's focus back on what I asked. Why are you guys moving mountains to be with someone who is giving you what they give to everybody else? That's what I want all of you to think about, because many men, especially ninjas, love to brag that their girl buys them Jordans and PlayStations and takes care of them. But they already do that for other people and exes in their past. So it's nothing special, and when you guys break up, you're not leaving with any of the things she bought, more likely than not. The same thing with XXs who move men in and put a roof over their heads. You weren't the first man she did that for, and you certainly won't be the last. So my question is, why are you guys still entering relationships when there's barely any benefit? The longer you guys stay together, all the things she did to get and keep you will decrease, including the segs, so why bother? That's a question you guys have to answer for yourselves, but a lot of men have figured out this truth, and they are not getting into relationships or marriages anymore. Men have to sacrifice a lot to be with XXs, and women sacrifice nothing to be with men. You guys aren't getting undefiled women anymore, so they have nothing special to offer or sacrifice nothing to be with you, and that's an undeniable truth. The only thing that women used to sacrifice and offer to men that could be considered special was their purity, because back in the day, if they didn't have their V card, they took a massive risk of being unable to convince a man to marry them. Today, none of that really exists anymore, so they bring nothing special to men or sacrifice anything, and when you realize that, you'll understand this side of the argument. Click the video on the screen to see why men are sick and fed up with dating and relationships.